What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel again. I am Kyle with Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair. What I got going on today is a 2015 MV Agusta F4. This is a referral from another customer of mine. He's looking for somebody to work on it. The closest place to here in Southwest Missouri is Texas. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I have worked on these in the past. So what's going on with this one here is that he was changing his oil, or he changed the oil pan gasket or something like that, and he put new oil in it, ran it, rode it, and went to change the oil again and noticed brass shavings in the bottom. Nice gold chunks, which is not good, which means most likely rod bearing or main bearing, one of those two. I'm gonna point my finger more towards rod bearing because he forgot to put back in the O-ring that goes around the oil pickup, so it wasn't quite picking up the oil it needed to, unfortunately, and which now has caused a catastrophic failure. He said the bike did start up, it doesn't sound bad, but we definitely, with the pictures he sent me, which I'll try to post those with this video, that it's definitely not looking good. So we're gonna have to strip this thing down, pull the motor out, take it all apart down to the very bottom end and see what's going on with that. Probably gonna run a time lapse and be taking a body work off. This stuff is pretty nice because it's all Zeus fasteners. And then we'll just kind of time lapse it till I get to the motor, and then I'll probably just time lapse it from there down to the crank to see what's going on there. All right, so you can see where we're at now. We got the body work off the tank, the air box, the seats, all that stuff, the front, upper cowling and all that. So our next objective here, I'll just walk you guys around the bike. Our next objective, if I could talk today, we're gonna start draining the fluids. The oil should already be out from the customer. We're gonna drain the coolant, and then we're gonna go ahead and take the throttle bodies off. We already marked our coil packs 1, 2, 3, 4, so they all go back in the same spot. They'll pretty much just I'll probably just end up unhooking them up here and leaving them as I drop the motor out. So what I do when I get on a bike that I don't do very often, I walk around it, and awesome that I got this video too. I'll take pictures of all the hose routings, all the wire routing and all that. That way when it goes back together, I make sure it all goes back in the same spot, same way, routed the same way it was previously. I could tell there's been somebody in here a few different times already because some of the bolts were rounded, some of these Otifer clamps aren't very tight. And you can just see he's put a lot of aftermarket stuff on this thing too, which is awesome. You know, he's got a lot of nice stuff. He's done a really nice job on this motorcycle. It's a really nice piece, a lot of carbon fiber stuff. So he's done a really good job. But like I was saying, I take pictures of everything, the way things are routed. That way, when we go back through it, it all goes back to the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and draining the fluids in this thing, the coolant, and start taking the throttle bodies off and the kickstand and all that stuff, and unhook this thing, and then I'll start to drop the motor out. There is one more thing I want to show you guys. Also, what I do when I take things apart, Ziploc bags are our friends. So here's his air cleaner. It's in a Ziploc bag. I mean, I know that's all bodywork stuff. I label this really quick, you know, just say tail section, airbox gas tank brackets, you know, keep everything in Ziploc baggies. It makes life a lot easier when you label it and you won't have any issues. And I just put it all in this box, and then I got a lot of the bigger stuff up on the shelf over here behind me. So it's a good way to keep track of all your stuff, and you know what bolts go in what. And like I said, pictures will help you guys remember. Photographic memory, that's what it's all about. All right, so this is where we're at with this MV Agusta right now. So I talked to my guys up at HSBK, Warhorse HSBK Racing in Dunmore, Pennsylvania. That's the Ducati team, factory team I work for in the race series, and they said, give up. Don't even just give up, because apparently MV is very, very hard to get a hold of. Parts are very hard to get a hold of. He told me the best thing to do is probably just get a motor off of eBay, but those are very few between. So I called a couple other places. I called a place in Texas called Moto Monkey. They're MV people. They're actually the closest one to us here in Southwest Missouri. What he told me is that to go ahead and take a look at the cams, make sure the cam journals are good, because if the head's bad, he said just might as well forget it altogether. He said the heads are just astronomically expensive and very, very hard to get a hold of. So I took the cams out of this just a few minutes ago. Cam journals look amazing, but I did run across a really weird problem. Every single one of the lobes on the intake cam, I don't know if you guys can really see that, they are starting to, seems like wear or chip away. Not really sure what that's all about. I haven't seen that before. I've seen them wear off, but it's usually on the Chinese Linhai stuff, not really on a bike like this. But the guy was saying at Moto Monkey, when these wear out, they just wear out. That's all there is to it. He said most time people just find a motor if they can find one. He told me to tell my customer the best bet is probably just to part this out. But I did send him an email with a picture of the intake cam, VIN number and stuff, and tell him what I think I may need in the process. You know, crank rod, main bearings, rod bearings, full gasket kit, possibly a intake cam, and maybe even a oil cooler. Depends on how clean I can get that on the availability of the stuff. So he's going to do some research, find out what's available, and then get back to me. So this thing's probably going to be sitting for a while. So hopefully I'll go ahead and drop this part of the video to you guys. Again, thanks for following me and subscribing to the channel. If you got any comments, leave them down below, or hit me up at limitlesspowersports78@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook at Limitless Powersports Service and Repair. Again, guys, I appreciate it. All right, guys, as you can see, we have the motor out of the MV finally. We got the head off. The head looks really good. Valves look great on it. Number 3 and number 4 cylinder look like they've been burning oil for a little bit. The cylinders look good. I got to measure the head gasket actually to make sure I get the right head gasket. Clutch looks really good. As you can see, we have piston 1, 2, 3, and 4. The unfortunate part is that the wrist pins were really hard to push out, so that's really concerning, because on these rods they have copper bushings in them, and if they start to get debris in them, start marring them up, stuff like that causes issues. As you can see, let me grab a flashlight here. I have the clutch and everything out. You can see all the nice gold debris down here. I have the oil pump out. I'm gonna go ahead and take the transmission out the other side, and take that apart on the other side, and then we'll go ahead and split the cases here. But here's what we have found. Here's number 4 rod. I'm not sure if you guys can see or not. You might be able to see it sticking out right there in the corner. That's rod bearing there, and you can see it all sticking out on the other side over here, and you can see we got tons of up and down play. Of course, we knew that was going to happen. 3 doesn't rotate very good either. 2 doesn't move very good. 1 so they should fall a little bit easier than that. So this is where we're at on the motor. I'm gonna go ahead and take more of it apart off of camera, go ahead and flip the motor around, start taking apart the other side, and then we'll split the cases, get the rods off, and we'll see what we got. All right, so we got the case split in half. Main bearings look really good on the bottom half of the case. I haven't checked out the top half yet, but as far as rod bearings go, here's number 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see how black number 4 is, which I have it loose, get ready to take it apart to show you guys. And number 2, you see how black that is compared to 1 and 3. That was the next one to go. That was getting very hot. You can tell that was hot and gone for a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin you around, sit you on the table here, let you guys see. We're gonna go ahead and pull off this number 4 rod bearing right here real quick. Here, we'll just set you on the side and point you down at it. Get you guys kind of close here. Close as I can anyways, got too many tools. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this cap off if I can. That bad boy might be stuck pretty good. All right, let's see if I can't. I'm gonna go ahead and put a bolt in there a little bit and just tap it lightly, separate the rod from the cap. If I can. It doesn't even want to move. Oh man, that's not good. There we go. Had to smack it pretty good. Remember, this is number 4. The motor is upside down. Need new rod bolts, new rods, pluralize that. Well, you can see number 4 rod, it's shot, hot, burnt. Let's check out the cap. It is all shot also. You can see how hot it is, burnt up. You can't hardly read the numbers on the side here. 42C. We just match those up. And you guys can see all the rod bearing. I think that's rod bearing. I don't think that's the side of the crank. It looks like rod bearing. Oh yeah, there it is. There you go. The rod bearing spun so much, it had actually seated itself together where I can spin the rod bearing on the crank. Insane, that's pretty crazy. All right, well, we'll pop that off. I'll go ahead and take 3, 2, and 1 off. We'll keep all those together in order, mark them, that way we know where they go, and we'll get a good look at the crank and see what's going on there. All right, so we got all the rods off. Like I said, the main bearings look pretty good, which are the ones here between each rod. We're gonna go ahead and pull the crank out here shortly, take a look at that. But also, you can see over here on number 1, you can see the scarring starting to come across here. Number 2, the rod bearing kind of welded itself to it a little bit also. It is starting to come apart a little bit. 3 doesn't look bad, it doesn't have any marring or anything on it, but number 4 is definitely shot also. You can see inside of here, well, that's number 4, you can see that one already, but in number 3, if you look, you can see all the damage on both sides of the rod bearings. 2 is, like I said, stuck there. Number 4 is, or number 1's the same. So what I'm gonna end up doing, like I said, is probably all 4 brand new rods, all brand new rod bearings, send the crank off to get fixed. It's probably gonna end up at Millennium Technologies in Wisconsin. It's gonna get welded, reground, and polished, sent back. And then I think Webcams is probably gonna do the intake cam for me after I get some pricing and then talk to the customer about what he wants to do, proceed with this. This is a very, very expensive build. The rods themselves are about $2,200 at cost. And then I would definitely recommend new piston rings, all that, because the wrist pins were getting stuck inside the pistons. And then, like I said, on top of the rods, you have these bushings that get pressed in. So, and you can definitely see wear on those. So that's a little concerning there too. So I think 4 new rods, pistons, and rings. The cylinders look really, really good. And it, believe it or not, get the crank fixed, new main bearings, new rod bearings, and slap this thing back together, and I think he'll be a-okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into all that. This will probably end this part of the video, guys, on this motor teardown here. I know it was short and sweet. I didn't show it all. It takes a lot of time to do this. Been spending all day making sure everything was taken apart correctly and measuring a lot of stuff as I was taking it apart. Like I said, you can see the head, the cylinders, the clutch. There's the transmission, pistons, the bottom half of the case, top half of the case over there, of course, tripod, and all that other crap. So Probably gonna stop this video, guys. It's gonna be a little bit till we get back into this one again. I appreciate it, guys. Smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. If you guys could leave a comment down below. And if you need anything about motorcycles, ATVs, or UTVs, you feel free to email me at limitlesspowersports78@gmail. You can find me on Facebook at Limitless Powersports Service and Repair. And I definitely try to answer you guys back as soon as possible. Again, thanks for the continued support. And I'll catch you guys on part 3, 2, 10, I don't know, whatever was going to be on this thing. Talk to you guys later. See ya. All right, guys, so this is the conclusion when it comes to this 2014, I think is what he said it is, because I don't think they had this 15, 14 MV Agusta F4 1000. We are no longer going to fix it. Just getting the OEM parts is just like rods are $2,000. Get the crank fixed. I had to call in a special request. APE said they would give it a shot, but it doesn't mean they could actually get it fixed. You know, you can see all the body work and then all the stuff there. And you guys saw the motor pipe, all that good stuff. But so it's going to be up for sale. $4,500. Lots of carbon, lots of extra carbon for it. You know, the motors could be fixed, but I think he said he found one on like the MV marketplace on Facebook for like $2,500 from a 12 to 15 or 16 are the same. So, I mean, clean title, clean bike. The bike's super clean. Just forgot an O-ring during the oil change, or maybe on the pickup. I can't remember exactly. I think he forgot the oil ring on the pickup, so it wasn't picking up oil. Spun the number 4, 1, and 2 rod bearings in it really bad. Main bearings look great. Cam's a little funky with this, but not available. Nobody I can find will fix the cam because it's tapered. Again, APE said they'd fix the crank since it has one good journal. They can measure that. But he decided, you know, we don't want to spend $8,000 in parts. So this is going to conclude the 2015-14 MV Agusta F4 1000. So it's an unfortunate event. If you guys are interested, drop a comment. Email me at Limitless Powersports Service and Repair. You can find me on Facebook at Limitless Powersports Service and Repair. Again, guys, questions about motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, I'll be happy to answer them. If you haven't subscribed, do that for me. It's really, really helpful for the channel. Leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever works for you guys. Also, there was something else I was going to say, but I have no idea. Oh yeah. Easy way to support the channel, guys, is subscribe. Helps us. It's free. Doesn't cost you guys anything, and we always really appreciate that. Again, I am Kyle with Limitless Powersports Service and Repair. I'll catch you guys on the next one.